Movies go like that. Movies go like this. Movies don't go like this. They go like that. Go like that. Is this a good spot? Okay. I like it like that. I like it like that, baby. You with me? We gonna be together. Is that blurry? I make sure it's not blurry, because last time they played me and they made it blurry and I had to upload blurry, and I don't want to do that again because that's not cute, because then you can't see what I'm doing. And then what's the point of watching the video if you can't see what I'm doing? You know, I'm shade. So we gotta make sure it's not blurry. Alright. Don't play with me. Y'all trying to play me. Don't play with me. Play with your. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I did my faux locks. I did a poll on YouTube. I did a poll on my community tab asking which hairstyle I should do next. I just wanted to see what you guys wanted to see, and most of you voted faux locks, so I have faux locks in. So yeah, this was definitely a process. This was a process. Took me 3 days, but I got through it and I did it. So yeah, anyways. So if you would like to see how I got this hairstyle, go ahead and keep on watching. So I'm starting off with freshly washed hair. It was kind of dry, but it was still a little bit damp. So yeah, I don't really recommend you do this on freshly washed hair, just because it was kind of messy, but it's okay. So anyways, I started parting my hair. I first parted it down the middle, put it into 2 equal sections. As you can see, it wasn't perfect, but you know, I fixed it. See, it's fixed. Okay, so next I proceeded to part my hair into 6 equal sections, or as equal as I could get them. I wasn't too particular about parting just because it doesn't really matter. Just as long as the parts are clean, it didn't really have to be in line for me. So yeah, that's all I'm doing, is I'm parting my hair into front, middle, and back on both sides. So since I can't see the back of my head, obviously, I just kind of felt around with my finger to try to get the parts as even as possible. So, I mean, if you can get like another mirror behind you, that might help you out. It didn't really help me out. I just kind of used my finger to feel around. The parting isn't perfect, but you know, it works. So after my hair was parted, I still hadn't moisturized my hair. I was working on freshly washed hair, as I said, so I just went ahead and did the lock method. I have a full wash day routine up if you would like to see exactly what I do. But after I moisturized the section I was working on, I parted it into 2 different lines, and I just kind of worked row by row. Then I parted my hair into the way I wanted it parted for each individual faux lock. I braided down the parted section. If you want to, you can use rubber bands. It might go a little bit faster. I just didn't want all of those rubber bands all over my head. In order to make the process just a little bit quicker, I only braided it halfway and then I just finger coiled the rest. It was easier to do it this way just because my hair was wet, but if it was dry, a rubber band would have worked. So I do recommend doing this on dry hair because it's probably going to be quicker. It's going to be easier to feel around your head. It won't be as slippery. I have actually done this hairstyle before, and I kind of just learned from my mistakes last time. So last time I did use box braids all over my entire head, but that ended up being a little bit too heavy for my liking, and it was a lot of braiding hair, so I do prefer doing it like this. I followed another girl's video. I will go ahead and link her video down below, and she is where I got the idea to braid my real hair instead of using fake hair to make box braids. So since some of the finger coils were like kind of coming out, I just went ahead and twisted the ones that were being difficult because I didn't want to braid all the way down. It was quicker to twist, so yeah. So when I do box braids, I usually just do these 6 sections or I do 4 sections, but I noticed that this middle section was kind of thick, and for what I was doing, I knew it was going to be complicated to work all at once, so I split it further into 2 sections. So after I braided up my entire head, I went ahead and went to sleep, and this is the next day. This is how they turned out. It was a long process. It was difficult. So yeah, maybe do this on dry hair so it'll go quicker. I don't know why it took so long, but it did take forever. I just got my scissors, my super sharp scissors I had just ordered from Amazon, and I gave myself a mini trim because I noticed some of my ends were messed up. I'm not good at cutting my hair, but it's okay because when I get my hair length checked and whatnot, I get it trimmed by a professional, so I don't really care. So anyways, I separated my hair all the way off. I just left the back row so I could work on that, and I am using the model Cuban twist hair. I also used the model circle curl hair. It says that it's crochet hair, but I mean it's just like regular hair. So both of these packs of hair separate, like each individual strand, it just kind of naturally separates, so that's kind of what I use to guide me. I started off with the curly hair. I took one individual strand and further separated it into a smaller strand because using less hair helps prevent tangling and stuff like that. I also used a crochet needle that I got off of Amazon. I got this. Okay. How do I be doing this? It's snagging onto my hair, but how in the... Okay, I got it through. Bro. Alright, so I got it. It was easy when I turned the camera off. How in the world am I supposed to film this? Girl. Anyways, let's continue. So if you couldn't already tell, this was my first time using a crochet needle, but I did eventually figure it out, so I will show later in this video how exactly I did it. I'm starting off with the Cuban twist hair. I just took an individual strand and just kind of brushed off the ends just to spread it out so it'll cover more ground. And if you know how to box braid, that's basically how I started it off. The girl in the video that I looked to, she actually crocheted this strand of hair through along with the curly hair, and she wrapped it around that way, but I found that it was easier to just go in as if it was a box braid. If you don't know how to box braid, stay tuned. I will show a clip of this close up so you can get a better idea of how I started this off. So in order to make the faux lock, I made one side of the Cuban twist hair longer than the other, and I took the longer side and wrapped it around the shorter side and my real hair and the curly hair, and I burnt the ends, leaving some of the curly hair at the end, and it just kind of sealed that way. This way it did start to unravel, so later you will see that I ended up burning the entire strand. Okay, so here's a slightly better view of me crocheting my hair. So basically all I did was kind of like make a hole at the top of the braid, and I pushed the needle through. I opened up the needle, put the braiding hair in it, then I pulled the curly hair through the braid. Then I made one side longer than the other to give length to the hair. Then I took a strand of Cuban twist hair and I put it up to my braid and curly hair. I combined the shorter side of the Cuban twist hair with my real hair and the curly hair, and I took the longer strand and I just started to wrap it around all of the other hair. This is kind of confusing, so I hope you can see what I did. So I wrapped it around the root of the braid multiple times before I started to go down, and as I went down I made sure to keep the lock very tight, and I also spread the hair out as I went just so that it covered more hair. Here's an even better view of me putting in the curly hair, and for this specific lock I'm actually going to be leaving out a curly strand just to give it that goddess look or whatever. In order to get that curly look, I added another strand of curly hair, so instead of one it has two. So after I separated out the strands of curly hair and adjusted the length, I just took one strand and I put it in my mouth. If you think that's gross, just use like a hair clip or something. Just keep it out of the way. And I wrapped around the faux loc in the same exact way, but I left out that strand the entire time. I did notice that I was having a lot of trouble with unraveling, so I did start to burn as I went. This made the locks kind of like stick together in the end, and it made a lot of the curls really matted. So I mean, if you can, avoid doing this, but I really couldn't. It just wouldn't stop unraveling, so I didn't have a choice. But just yeah, keep in mind it does tend to make your hair kind of like stick together. Alright, so I finished locking my entire head. I am so sorry guys, my voice sounds like crap because I'm sick. My mirror is over here, so I'm going to be looking over here. This is a mattified mess look because I use synthetic curly hair. So if you don't want a mattified mess, I would suggest using human hair. They have human braiding hair, yeah, but I think it's kind of pricey and pointless to do all that. I mean, that's why I was just like, I'm gonna just use synthetic hair because it's pointless to do all that. I mean, the curls ain't terrible. I just gotta get them together. Oh, and also, if you don't want tangles, another way that might work, at least for the first week or so, would be not to burn the ends. For me, I can't use glue or nothing else. The video that I followed this time, she used glue. She used nail glue. I was like, sis, you want some other level mess because what? She did some magic. They stayed in apparently, but for me, I was burning the ends. It was unraveling, so I had to burn the whole lot. Listen, it was just a process. I'm gonna finish detangling this off camera, and then I'll be back to show you guys me cutting it and all of that jazz. All right, y'all. So I just got all of the tangles out, got the curls out to play, and I actually love my hair. I was worried, but it's so cute. I love it. So now I'm about to make these shorter just because these curls are a hot mess, and I wasn't intending to have it this long anyway. So I'm just gonna cut it. Alright, so I think I'm done cutting this. What y'all think? I think I like it. I think it's cute. Oh yeah, I like this. I am going to wrap it up how I'm gonna be wearing it because I'm not gonna wear it down. That's just in my way. I'm gonna tie it up. I do this with my braids too, just because I have to go to work tomorrow. Okay, so here she is. Here's my hair. Cute. Alright, so I'm about to do my baby hairs real quick, and then I'll be done. Yay me. Yay me! Alright guys, so that is it. I'm done doing my faux locs. I think they're real cute, honestly. I really love them. They were a struggle. They are kind of a struggle to maintain, but that's okay. We figure it out as we go. Eventually, I think that if the curls get matted up, I just have to cut the curls off and then like re-burn the ends, and then it's still wearable. So yeah, I mean, overall it's cute. I really like these. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.